Hey everybody, Brandon Heins with Heins Contracting, bringing you along today to show you what to expect when you have a hail damage inspection with Heins Contracting. Follow me. Alrighty, so we are going to get started on this homeowner's hail damage inspection. What we're going to do is we're going to start from the ground first. We always like to double check any of the soft metals like downspouts and that sort of thing going around the house, just to ensure that we actually see damage from the ground before risking our life going up on the roof. What's interesting with this house is that there's stone on it, so we shouldn't be seeing any siding damage that way. And then what we do is we take pictures every bit along the way. What we're doing when we do a hail damage inspections is we're looking at everything because we want to sort of paint a picture for insurance companies if there is hail damage to show that there was substantial hail damage. So, for example, taking a look at this fence here, really dark fence, but you can see these dots all over the place. And those are all impacts and damage from hail. So of course, like I said, not something that we would be able to help with. I would refer another contractor that specializes in fences, but you can really see the amount of damage that was done to this. So I'm gonna take a picture of it. We take pictures of literally everything. We don't specialize in garage doors, but obvious signs of very large hail is if there's any dents and dings on garage doors. So I'm just taking a peek here, seeing if there's anything that obviously pops out. Nothing obvious here, but worth checking. So we'll work to the backyard. All right, so just taking a look at some of these downspouts. Nothing really crazy here on the downspouts. I'm also looking at other structures here, you know, storage things, tables, grills, stuff like that. One easy way for us to get started would be inspecting the roof on the garage. The roof on the garage has all four faces. This type of roof is actually called a hip roof, which means there's eaves that run all the way around the roof. Contrary to like a ranch where you have eaves on just like the front and the back of the house. So these ladders are extremely nice to have. They are not cheap, but they make it really nice for us to be able to get inside of a house in the scuttle hole so that we can inspect the attic. And we use chalk because that's what insurance companies use. Just pointing with your finger sometimes, they don't really like that. They like to see it actually like shown with chalk. And as you notice, like with soft metal stuff, it's really easy to highlight that. So here, 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 here. So those are all dimples from the outside of the gutter in. So this is called the pan of the gutter. That's really normal to have hail damage in the pan of the gutter. So even some areas you can see here, like the face of the gutter right there, just kind of this guy right there, you can see. All right, so we're gonna get started on this face of the roof, and this is roughly even a 10 by 10 area, but what I'm marking out, these right here, all these black spots are hail damage, and I'll explain a little bit more after I get some of them marked out for you. So what I'm doing with my finger is I'm actually pushing in on this and feeling the bounce of that shingle. Like that is really obvious. You can actually see that shingle bouncing back and forth versus on here, it's a little bit more rigid, right? But right here where the shingle or where the hailstone actually hit, broke the fiberglass mat underneath of it, so it loses that structural rigidity to it. This spot is also another very obvious one where you can see that the hail actually hit and even cracked the edge of the shingle right here. So put an F for front, and then H is hits, and it's 8 plus. That's what insurance companies want to see. Insurance companies are looking for 8 to 10 hail hits on each face, and insurance companies really just look at front, back, left, and right of homes and other structures. So just doing same thing across all four faces. Now this storm really came from the south and the west. I am on the north face of the roof, so a little bit harder generally for damage to be on this side of the roof, but we are definitely observing hail hits. That's one that's going to be really nice to show. Ooh, so is that one. So we definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is about as good as it gets. So this would be like an all-star hit, so to speak. So you can even see where the hailstone actually broke the piece of the shingle. One thing that's really easy to see with this is you can actually see the fiberglass of the shingle. So that's the mat that they're talking about, that insurance companies are looking for. And it's weird that there's only one vent on this, but so you can't really see that there's damage on this, but with my sweet little crayon chalk here, you can see there. Now looking on this side of the roof, which would be the east, also a little bit harder to see where hail damage would be, but we definitely have some. One thing to point out to you here, when we're looking at even normal inspections, kind of taking a peek at quality of install. So take a look at this. This is the shingle installer of this roof. You can actually see the nail exposed right here. And so each one of these shingles, this shingle is actually this big, but they just overlap each other. The nail line is actually somewhere up in this range. So they just nailed it too low. You're very exposed to leaking right there. Now I'm just gonna take a bunch of photos so that we have this documented. So we're gonna do what's called a ladder pull. This is why you trust the professionals for inspecting your home. Into the thick of it, into the thick of it. These roof to wall flashings are very, very important on a house, on really any type of siding, but especially stone. And it's not the easiest, but you can definitely see that there's voids in the caulking up here. And caulking and sealant is, it's a lot of what a lot of things are dependent on when it comes to houses with waterproofing. It is a ladder pull. This is why we want light ladders. Okie dokie. Well, this is how you get onto a 2-story roof with just a 1-story ladder. Oh wow, it's a pretty nasty hole through the gutter guard there. Now we can get all 4 faces of the roof up here pretty easily. So. It's actually broken. All right, left hits equal 8 plus. Okie. Oh, geez, you can look at all these hits all the way down through there. Wow. This is not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. All right, so this actually would be considered a blister. So what you can see is there's actually no granules inside of there. You can see the fiberglass mat, and what you need to see for hail damage is granules actually driven into there. What happens with a blister is the asphalt or the tar underneath there must have had moisture in it or something to that effect, or just got really hot and it actually boiled and expelled all the granules away. So you can see that granules are actually piled up a little bit around here. So that wouldn't be considered hail damage. That's one. So I'm not really concerned about not finding enough on here, because we have this entire face as well. So, and we have a power vent. Look at the cracked power vent up here. Cracked power vent. Some pipe flashings there. Take a picture of the satellite in the chimney there. Well, we got plenty of hail hits on everything here. Don't need to risk my life on the rest of this, so we're gonna work on getting down. So I do want to take pictures. See, the flashing right here is damaged as well. All right, so we got permission from the homeowner. There is absolutely hail damage on this house. And one thing that we're gonna do is put a sign in the yard. One, helps us with a ton of advertising, but the other thing is it really helps deter other contractors. So with a hailstorm of this size, there's gonna be hundreds of contractors coming to the area. You can see signs already up and down the street here. And when other contractors see signs in the yard, and there's this much damage, they generally just move on to the next house. I say generally, but it's a great deterrent of other contractors for you. So, yeah. If you have any questions or you're looking for a free inspection from a local family-owned business, please reach out to Heins Contracting.